Hello and welcome to this Photoshop tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be looking at image size and cropping. So we have a nice image to work with here. First thing I'm going to do is look at image and image size to bring up our image dimensions. At the top here we will see that we have a measurements in pixels, so we know exactly how many pixels there are within this image. You'll also see the file size at the top here. So 46 megabytes, pretty standard for a normal photographic image size. A bit further down we have document size. This is often the language that we understand best, so we have it in centimeters. We can change the units here, so you can view it in different ways, but stick to centimeters for now. You can change the overall size of your picture. So if we change the width from say 41.72 to 20, you'll notice that the height has changed with it. That's because we have constrained proportions ticked. Now if you take that off, it will only change one of these parts of the settings here. So it's best normally to keep constrained proportions on, because we don't want to stretch our image in an unusual way. Another thing you might have noticed is that the pixel dimensions change as well, so they're obviously intricately linked together. Alright, so that's the first bit. Now, looking at resolution here, resolution is a really important thing when it comes to image work in Photoshop. 300 pixels per inch is print standard. So when working with an image that you're probably going to be printing out, so you want to maintain that quality, go for 300. If you're working with web imagery, then you're going to want to reduce this to about 72. So see, by bringing it down to about 72 pixels per inch, you're really lowering that image size. Now, none of us like waiting on the internet for things to load up, so it's always advisable to really kind of make the images as streamlined as quick as possible. Now, if you ever reduce an image in size from 300 dpi into 72, then I'd recommend having two different versions of that file. So never save over the top, because once you've lost that quality, you're not going to get it back. Okay, so that's image size. I would now like to look at cropping with you. The crop tool is the fifth one down. So clicking on the crop tool there, it will bring up some options on the options bar here. First thing we're going to look at is view. So let's look at view here. We're currently viewing in rule of thirds. Okay, so we see that it's divided up in thirds. We can, if we move that in a little bit, you'll see a bit better. We can move our image around within those thirds. Now we can also look at the image using a grid, diagonals. So all really good methods of knowing where and how to crop your image in the best way. A really nice one is golden spiral. So if you're working with photographs, it's a really lovely way of making sure you get your images in nice proportion. So let's work with golden spiral, shall we? So we can move this around. We can reposition our picture. So I can try and aim to get this leaf here maybe nice and close to that golden spiral. There we go. So a kind of nice harmonious spiral running through there. If I were to double click on this, it would commit that and it would crop away all of these details. Now in this version of Photoshop CS6, if we click on delete crop pixels, that will happen. It will take them away. It will delete the crop pixels once we commit it. But in this version, it's known now that if we double click on that, it will crop it. Okay, so we don't see the information there anymore, but it hasn't destroyed it. So if we click on again, we can see that the information is still there if we need it. Okay, so a good non-destructive method. Now, next thing to show you is this area here. We have unconstrained, which means that you can crop to any size and any shape. You can change it to different ratios. So really useful, especially when you're printing out on 5x7 paper for photographs. You can constrain it to 5x7. Now it locks it so the proportions always stay the same. You can, if you like, go to size and resolution and have a lot more control over it, and you can actually input your own sizes in here and also input the resolution. So nice and simple. Cropping, again, it's a really good thing to do with the pictures if they need a little bit of extra work. but I would advise that when it comes to saving, maybe saving a second document, so you always maintain that original. Straighten is something we'll leave for another tutorial, but a really good way of straightening up those wonky horizons you may have. Okay, I hope that was useful. Thank you very much.